Hello and welcome to Saltwire Today for Friday, April 21st. I'm your host, Kate Walker. A first-of-its-kind clinic in Atlantic Canada to help the homeless transition out of hospital is opening in a former hotel in Dartmouth. The Doubletree Hotel on Wise Road, which had already been partly used as a shelter, is now going to become a full-time shelter and clinic. The province says many people who are unhoused, who are well enough to be released from hospital, but need somewhere to go for extra recovery, will be able to come here. The idea is to reduce visits to ERs and walk-in clinics and decrease the length of hospital stays by people experiencing homelessness. The clinic will serve clients of the shelter as well as community members referred for nursing care by Nova Scotia Health. The clinic will be open 7 days a week with an on-site support team and wraparound services, as well as preparations for independent living. As far as staff who used to work at the hotel, the province says they've been offered other jobs, most staff members either remaining on site or reassigned within the company that owns the hotel. The province is investing almost $14 million in the project, $10 million for the lease and $3.85 million for services. The Halifax Harbour bridges are aiming to remove toll booths by 2025. The long-planned toll booth removal project is nearing closer when the Commission will be implementing a smart tolling system using cameras to scan vehicles as they cross the bridge. Nothing will change for drivers who already have a MAC pass. Around 105,000 vehicles cross the bridges on an average workday. If a commuter doesn't have a MAC pass, then the smart tolling system would read the license plate of their car and then send an invoice to their address. Halifax Harbour Bridges is looking at options to police billing issues and delinquent accounts. They're now talking with the provincial government about the project's next steps. The Nova Scotia College of Art and Design, NSCAD, held an art show in Point Pleasant Park yesterday. The Resident Grounds exhibit features 13 site-responsive pieces created by third and fourth-year undergrad students all around the park. The artworks are a result of a semester-long course on public art at NSCAD. Students had 16 weeks to propose, design, sculpt, and install their art pieces in the park.
I was engaging with the historical site, so I looked into the history of the site, which was really interesting. Like the cannon that is there was not actually one of the cannons originally stationed there. It's from Cambridge Battery, I think. And a lot of my work surrounds the idea of display and rhetoric through display, so I thought that was interesting to work with.
Installations will be viewable around Point Pleasant Park until May 25th, and students' pieces cover a variety of styles and designs. Sculptures taking the forms of houses, mirrors, and instruments are placed around the park. Each student used different materials to craft their piece, with some using concrete, wood, acrylics, glass, and even molten bronze. It's time for another edition of Wine of the Week with Saltwire sommelier Mark DeWolf. Tomorrow is Earth Day, and this weekend is the Tasting Climate Change Conference in Wolfville. Mark introduces us to where wine is made using sustainable methods.
Tomorrow is Earth Day, and in celebration of Earth Day, we're hosting a conference called Tasting Climate Change down at Lightfoot and Wolfville. What I love about Lightfoot and Wolfville, they produce their wines using grapes that are grown using biodynamic methods. They're very sustainable in everything they do. And this is a great product. So their Flora is an aromatic style white wine, slightly off dry. It's gonna really come out in the glass, in the nose. Really great pairing to local seafood.
And for more wine recommendations, tips, recipes, and interviews, go to the Wine to Dine section of saltwire.com. It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Leila Sarangi from Campaign 2000 about the cost of living crisis.
I'm wondering what the call to action is. How do we get a community to pay attention and do what's needed to end child poverty and help feed our kids?
Well, we need everybody to rise up, right? I think transformation will only happen at the political side if our elected officials know that their constituents are concerned about this. So I think what we have to do as caring community members is talk about it to each other, talk about our solutions to each other, and talk about our solutions to all of our elected representatives. And that's their job, is to listen to our concerns and respond appropriately. One of the reasons we're going out and talking to community members and people who are living in, violent and poverty situations is because those folks, they know what they need. They know the solutions, and they have the ideas that they're communicating to us. And so we need to really listen and then work with them to communicate these ideas to our elected officials. That's how we're going to get the change, and we can all participate in that.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of saltwire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
Thanks, Kate. Armand Benford is from Chicago, but he's currently living in Truro, Nova Scotia, playing for the Truro Tide, part of the Eastern Canadian Basketball League, and he and his teammates are getting to know the community of Truro. I know you haven't been there too long, and you said that you're kind of out walking around and exploring the community. What are a couple of things that maybe you really enjoyed so far, whether it's a park area or something to eat? What's kind of stood out to you so far about Truro?
Well, everywhere I go, everybody asks me about Donaires. So that's the funny thing, that like everywhere I go, they ask me, have you tried a Donaire from here? Have you tried a Donaire from there? I'm like, I tried it from one place, I'll try it from another place. And it's just Truro, everybody's showing love to us. And we 5-0 right now, but I think it'll be much more love when we start winning some more, getting everybody involved.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, what do you think of the Donaire?
The Donaire is like the gyro back at home in Chicago. It tastes just like the gyro to me. They just don't have like the pita. But the only thing I can say is the Donaire sauce. I don't know if I like sweet stuff on meat. I don't know if I like that.
That's one of the things that people seem to love most about the Donaire is the sauce. Now, has anybody mentioned to you, or have you had garlic cheese fingers with Donaire sauce yet? Because that's another super popular thing.
I think so. Like the fries with the cheese, with the gravy and stuff like that, right?
Oh, no, that's poutine. That's a whole other thing.
See, I'm lost.
Well, this is great, Armand. I feel like I'm helping get you a little more in tune with the community. But yeah, if you have a chance, because I guess garlic cheese fingers aren't a real big thing outside of this region either. But what a lot of people do, and I know my daughter, for example, loves garlic cheese fingers with the Donaire sauce on the side to dip them in. So are you willing to give that a try at some point, Armand?
Look, I'm in a new environment, new area. I'm always open to give new tries to anything, to be honest. Coming from Chicago, you got to try new stuff.
For my full conversation with Armand, you can visit the video tab at saltwire.com and also our Saltwire YouTube channel. In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now. To see what's coming up in the weekend forecast, we're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Happy Friday, Kate. Well, it was another nice April day in HRM. Now, the northerly flow that we continue to have brought varying levels of cloud cover, so a general mix of sun and cloud today. At times more clouds than sunshine, and that northerly wind means I really couldn't lose the jacket because it was another breezy day. But as I look towards the upcoming weekend, the weather looking pretty good, especially for April standards. This evening, we'll just have a few clouds, the temperature near 5 degrees, and if you're heading out the door early tomorrow morning, bundle up. We'll start near the freezing mark, but with mainly sunny skies. Mainly sunny throughout the day on our Saturday and climbing up to a high of 14 degrees. Now, we do see a bit of a change in the wind direction. It will be from the north on Saturday, but then on Sunday over to the east and at times southeast. So we'll have a mix of sun and cloud. Now, the high temperature will be near 15 further inland, but in the city and along the coast, closer to 9 degrees thanks to that wind off the ocean. So really not a bad weekend for April standards in HRM. Get out and soak up that sunshine. Just a reminder, I told you yesterday the UV index is starting to climb again, and this weekend it will be near 7 or 8. So if you're planning to be outside, especially for an extended period of time, be sure to slap on that sunscreen. Have a great weekend. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to saltwire.com. You can find us on social media. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here Monday.